I was working with like a real wrestling team. Like these guys were real wrestlers,
Yeah.
and I got thrown around.
What's going on, guys? This is Brian Jones from PopCulture.com, and joining me today is a very special guest. He's been in the TV series Pretty Little Liars and Teen Wolf. He's also in the CW series All American, but he's going to be starring in an upcoming film called Notorious Nick. Cody Christian. Cody, how are you?
I'm great. I hope you keep all of that in there just as it is.
They probably will keep it. So
listen, I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect.
A little big tongue twisted there, but yeah, doing great. Thank you so much for joining us. I wanted to start off with this first. Obviously you're starring in the movie Notorious Nick. You're going to be playing the title character, Nick Newell. And for those who don't know, Nick Newell is a MMA fighter who has an amputation on his left arm. So it talks about the story of him going through different obstacles and challenges that he had to deal with throughout his career. So what was, when it comes to this project, what made you want to get involved in it?
I mean, to your point, it's an incredible story. We're talking about a real man, Nick Newell, born with a congenital amputation, who pretty much overcomes every impossible obstacle to achieve and go after his dreams, and I really connected with that aspect of the film and his journey in particular, kind of going against the grain and working harder than anybody and everybody and staying passionate and being driven by will and determination to achieve whatever it is that you're after. I'm 26 and I came out to Los Angeles as like a 10-year-old kid with just a huge dream, and year after year after year, 16 years so far, just kind of working my way into it. Achieving the impossible. It's something that, my journey inspires me. When I saw his story and what he did with his life, I was just in awe. So I knew it was something that if given the opportunity, I had to be attached to it.
Oh, of course. And did you know anything about Nick Newell before accepting the role?
I did not. No, I did not. I didn't know him. I didn't know him as a fighter. As soon as I got the information, on the script and the story, the very first thing I did was started prepping because I auditioned for this, like a lot of other people. So I put a lot of time into just diving into who he was, his journey, things that he has accomplished so far, just in the prep phase of the audition. Because again, when I saw it come across, we saw the script, we saw the audition, I was like, damn, this is something, this is a once in a lifetime kind of story. So I'm going to give it my all.
Oh, of course. And you talk about the preparation. This film, and I got a chance to see it, this film has you doing wrestling along with MMA. How was the training process like for you?
Pretty grueling. A lot of work. I remember at one point my shins were just all busted up, man, from like my ankles all the way up to my knees. Because this is the first time in like fight training that I had to utilize a lot of kicking and learning the fundamentals behind that, the techniques behind it. Physically taxing, mentally liberating, just kind of being immersed in learning this world of chaos but control that is mixed martial arts. You know what I mean? Being able to kind of stay poised in an environment that doesn't really facilitate that. It was really, really cool though, man. It was, I think day by day with the training, I kind of felt more and more comfortable being able to go out there and tell Nick's story with the most amount of truth and authenticity that I possibly could. So, it was tough, but absolutely necessary.
Oh, of course. I bet that had to be really challenging because, again, doing all that wrestling is not easy to begin with. And then,
oh my gosh. Listen, on the days that we were filming the high school auditorium wrestling thing, like I was working with like a real wrestling team. Like these guys were real wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I got thrown around a couple times because for most of the stunts, I'd say 90 to 95% of anything physically done in the film, I did it.
Yeah.
There were like two massive slams that my best friend Corey, who's my stunt double, took on for me. But everything else, I was in there, and I got tossed around on a wrestling mat in the high school setting. And let me tell you, man, it was not fun.
Oh, I bet. That definitely wasn't fun. But were you a fan of MMA before you accepted the role?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always kind of dabbled in just mixed martial arts in general. I trained jujitsu for like 3, 4 years
Oh,
and
okay.
fell in love with it, and I still to this day love it. But yeah, I've been a fan of mixed martial arts. Watched a lot of UFCs. I was literally over here last weekend on the McGregor fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm very well versed.
Yeah.
For the most part in that world. So again, to be able to play a character. Um, in this sort of environment, like fighting to me is I've always been fascinated by it and something that I would love to experience at some point in my life. But with my current career choice, I just don't see how that really could work out well.
Yeah.
So being able to jump into this and get a taste of the life and just a slight understanding of what these fighters go through before, in the midst, and after the fights, what it takes, I think, mentally to go up there and be a fighter. It's incredible, man. So doing this film and having just a slice of that experience, my respect and admiration has gone up through the roof.
Oh, no question about it. And Nick Newell, he's a guy that actually retired and came back. He actually competed in Bellator not too
Mhm.
long ago. Have you got a chance to talk to Nick Newell, or was he a part of the process when was he in production, part of the process when you were filming?
So basically, the producers had spent a lot of time with Nick. I'd say like a year or two prior, in the
Yeah.
post production phase of just getting things together. So I never got the chance to physically meet him. I never got the chance to speak with him. But what I did do is, I immersed myself with the producers and all the knowledge that they had, and constantly was checking in with them because my main objective in doing this film, I'm telling this man's true story. Like this is his life. So I dedicated every ounce of effort and energy I had to just bringing something to the table that he would be proud of. So hopefully that, when this film comes out, I don't know if he's already seen it or,
Yeah.
but when it does come out, I hope it's something that he could watch and feel a sense of pride. I just wanted to be a part of telling his story, man. So,
Mhm.
hopefully we get a chance to connect, and I'd love to hear his thoughts on the film.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll be really satisfied with the film because, again, I got a chance to see it, and I think you did a really great job portraying Nick Newell and everything
Thank
he
you.
had to go through. So I think he'll definitely like your performance. But
Right
with
on, man. I
oh,
listen. This my number one like insecurity, fear going
mm,
into it was like, would I be able to accomplish this in the way it needs to be accomplished?
right.
Again, like the fact that this is a real story. It's not fabricated. It's not fiction. It's you know what I mean. It's somebody's life, so it was a big responsibility.
Oh, of course. And switching gears a little bit, as I mentioned at the beginning, you play Asher Adams, an All American. Season
Yep.
3 just wrapped up, and congratulations on season 4. I think that's a really big accomplishment for you guys.
Thank you, man. It's been a hell of a ride with them, like shooting the pilot back in 2018 to getting picked up for the first season. I remember sitting in my living room, getting the phone call, and then immediately calling my mom and just kind of telling her like, "Hey, this is happening. This is for real right now." Um, to getting season 2, season 3, we just finished that up. Hell of a season shooting through the pandemic.
Yeah.
We start season 4 here relatively soon. So, it's been one nonstop journey, and I'm incredibly grateful for it, dude. Seriously, to be on a
Oh,
show
yeah.
that's this well rounded with so many great people, and for it to be going the distance in a time where, work hasn't been, I guess, abundant. Yeah, it's been a blessing for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about season 4. I don't know how much information that you know or you can give away.
Mhm.
What do you know about your character heading into season 4? Have you got a chance to read a script or anything like that to that nature?
No, as far as right now, I personally don't have any information in regards to storylines or what's going to happen. I know timeline wise, we pick up season 4 right where we left off season 3 of the championship game between Crenshaw and Beverly. So I know we're going to pick up right there, and then we're going to kind of expedite our way through the rest of their last year of school, senior year. So I'm imagining whatever happens in the fall right after the championship game. Then you have the next year, which is like the spring part of it. Then we talk about graduation, visiting colleges. What does that look like? So I know there's a lot to be explored. I just don't have the specifics right now. But from what I've heard, loose lip, it's going to be a great season.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. We're all looking forward to it. I think All American is a really, really great show. So I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's going to
thank
be a
you.
lot of fun. Oh, of course. And of course, you, as I also mentioned, you were in Pretty Little Liars. That also had a really strong cast, and they've all
Yeah.
gone to done really great things. Have you got a chance to keep in contact with some of your castmates from Pretty Little Liars?
Yeah, I actually just texted Lucy the other day.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I'm not super tight with a lot of the people. When I
Right.
shot that show, man, I was 50. I turned 15 when I
Mm,
shot the pilot, so I was
mm,
really, I think Sasha and I were like the two youngest on the show.
yeah.
But a majority of my scenes, were with my sister Lucy, my mom Holly Marie Combs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still loosely stay in touch with them. Teen Wolf, I try to stay in touch with as many as the people I work with, Dylan, Tyler. Um, it's just a great group of people. It's the relationships that I have from being a part of those shows are the type of relationship where you don't see somebody for 2, 3 years. The next time you see them, it's like you hung out the previous weekend. You just
Oh,
pick
of
up
course.
right where you left off, which is super cool. But to your point, listing all those shows, I've been playing like a high schooler for damn near a decade. So got a
uh,
baby face still, man. It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see that. But when you talk about Pretty Little Liars and Teen Wolf, would you be up for a reunion show for either one of them if they were talking about it? I don't know if they are, but would you
Yeah,
be up for reunion shows for both?
absolutely, man. At that point, it would just come down to scheduling and availability. But
Mhm.
both of those shows are a huge part of my journey so far. And it's a journey that's still, in my opinion, in the very beginning stages. So yeah, absolutely. If there was an opportunity or a chance to kind of get back together and do it again, or refreshed, mature take of what was done in the past, I'd be 100% game for that.
Oh, of course. And the last question from me before I let you go, you're obviously staying busy with Notorious Nick, All American. Is there any other projects that you have in the works?
I mean, as of right now, there's a couple films that are on the line for me. It really depends on scheduling again at this point. I go back into shooting All American, and once we start that season, it's going to be pretty much straight through until we finish. So I do have projects, but we have to figure out where they're going to fit in the big puzzle of things. Um, Currently working on some development ideas. I want to
Okay.
get into the world of bringing my own stories or other great stories, to the screen, producing a little bit of writing. So just kind of a little bit of everything right now. But number one, main focus, I'm excited for Notorious Nick to come out in August, and I'm excited to go back and start season 4. So those are the two priorities for me right now.
Absolutely, man. I think you're doing a really great job. I really enjoyed your work on Notorious Nick and like what you're doing in All American. So,
Thank you.
continued success. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely, Brian. You've been the best, man. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you again.
Oh, absolutely. Again, guys, you can catch out Cody and Notorious Nick. I think that comes out on August 6th. So be
Yes.
sure to check that out. And for more on Cody and all your favorite celebrities, be sure to keep it locked on popculture.com.